We live in a complex, multi-layered world. If you don't pay attention, well, most of the time you're safe, but if you're not paying attention to certain things, certain key factors, you won't notice hidden threats that are going to hurt you, kill you, destroy you, or that you're unwittingly feeding and empowering to cause damage in the future. So you always need to keep yourself mindful of things. This is MJ. Right now, I love Tokusatsu, and right now I want to talk about Kamen Rider Zero-One Episode 11. So starting off with the new things, this is the first time we've seen Hirobi almost give one of the extinction belts and a shot, a thingy, a doobly-doo, to one of the Humagear. And he gives it to this actor Humagear, which we don't physically see him give it to him. We just cut to the actor having it, and we get no good shots of him. He's in a rhino-looking armor. He has samurai-type armor on his waist, the plated swinging down stuff. Anyway, not really a good scene. It's super quick how he's dealt with, especially because this was dealt with over 2 episodes. Anyway, more importantly than that, Amatsu Gai is really no Aruto is introduced to Amatsu Gai, and no one, or the person who introduces the two of them is none other than Yaiba. We learn that while she does work for Ames, she is there from ZAIA Corporation, which is a much larger business than Hedon Intelligence. We got to see their name pretty prominently when the tour bus thing was going on in like the 3rd or 4th episode when they were going to Daybreak Town. And we've seen that there's a guy who's been giving her stuff, and it makes a little bit more sense now. I don't like how that diminishes her role because she's not the one developing the technology, but it's going to give her moral stakes, I think, as we see what she's going to do if she's going to betray ZAIA, because her intention when she fought with Isamu, or when they were having some tension in the last episode, was that she wanted to take down Hedon, and his only concern was taking down the Humagear so that they wouldn't hurt people. But now her attitude of Humagear being tools, et cetera, et cetera, it might be because she's being used as a tool to manipulate this company to bring it down. I don't know. It adds an interesting dimension to things, but I'm not 100% sure. No, I know it makes me a little uncomfortable with how she's being handled now, because it feels like she's being sidelined a little. So Little Assassin is becoming one of the most fascinating characters. He is definitely being given an arc. Not only is his Magir form changing, when he transforms, it's becoming more advanced. There's like more weapons, more fiddly bits. I saw a scan, and I was surprised this episode by how it looked in action, let's say. Anyway, he also has pink streaks in his hair that he didn't have before, and he is acting more fluidly, less robotically and sillily as he was when he was first introduced, which I mentioned last episode, so I won't belabor it, but I just thought it was interesting that even his hair is changing, and I think that's pretty neat. Good stuff, man. Anyway, as I was talking about his form changed, he just looks cool. The dodo form, like, it's got all these crazy bullet things on him that he can shoot off with his sword. It kind of reminds me of the way he fights, and the visualization of it is kind of like the Gokaigers, which is kind of fun. I don't know why that would be, but I guess he's got the two things crossing over his chest, kind of like a couple of bandoliers too, which is kind of fun. Seiji Takawa's performance as Kamen Rider Hirobi is pretty dope. He plays between his years of experience and the way the director is framing everything, and actually the new guy too, the way he's reacting to I think Takahashi is or is it Yuya? Yuya is the new suit actor for Zero-One. Anyway, between the combination of everybody working together, Hirobi looks amazing and looks imposing and looks like a real legitimate threat, and I like that he's getting to be that, and that the villains are getting to be that serious threat. Yaiba didn't get much action, but she got to destroy the Bugster. She's Lightning Hornet again, which is a great suit. I really, really do like it, and I didn't think I was going to like the henshin device being a gun. It seemed kind of dumb to me, but I don't know. They make it work. They make it flow. Them being militaristic is part of it, but then like the way she grabs her belt, and they do a lot of interesting things where, like, when she transforms, she spins her progress key. That's what it's called, man. Anyway, she spins that. I'm sure they have that on a little rig or something, and I think someone in the Toku Twitter community made something similar and showed it off, and that was pretty cool. Anyway, but like the way they do the cuts, like she spins the thing, she brings it up to her side, and then you see they almost always take another angle on her. So I'm pretty sure she has to, the actress has to let that go, pick up something else, and then continue the transformation scene. But anyway, it looks really cool. But here they have her grab her belt, and it's like there were a lot of quick cuts in this episode that went between the fight that she was having with the whatever and the Hirobi Zero-One fight. And like the fight was a little disjointed. Oh, I did want to say that I felt like there was one scene where Takawa was shooting the arrow, or Hirobi was shooting an arrow, and it looked like Takawa was he wasn't trying very hard. His heart wasn't in it. But then that was in the beginning of the episode, and then the later half. And in the beginning, it was all chopped up, like I was talking about with the fight with Lightning Hornet and this other thing. And then later on, he was like totally dedicated to the fight. So I just wonder what happened. Was it rushed? Were they just trying to show off the new toy? Because they kept showing off the bow and arrow like multiple times, and it was kind of intrusive. So not well done there. I'll take off some points for them doing that this episode. But there's a larger point I want to talk about, getting back to hidden threats, and I like anyway, and I just would like to talk about that for a couple minutes. So when Yaiba takes Aruto in to meet the president, Mr. 1000, gosh, I cannot remember his name right now. I'm just going to call him ZAIA, because I'm pretty sure he's going to call Aruto Hedon, and it'll be Hedon and ZAIA, and they're going to be personifications of their corporations. Balls. Anyway, I wish his name was Kaiba. That would make things a little easier. Anyway, his office is very interesting. We've seen it kind of draped in shadow when Yaiba's been in there before, because they're trying to keep things mysterious, but apparently that's just how the guy rolls. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7 huge windows, which have huge coverings on them, blocking off the rest of the world. Hidden intelligence, they're in a big skyscraper. It's very tall. There's lots of glass everywhere you can see through. And the ZAIA Corporation building is kind of low and wide and sprawling. It's got a horizontal spread versus a vertical spread, which is interesting to me. I don't know what that signifies, but I think the fact that their buildings are so different signifies something. I think the fact that that Hidden Intelligence has these open windows and there's a transparency going on means something. And I think the fact that this guy has all these windows, but they're all opaque and covered up, means something. And then on top of that, when Yaiba leaves the room, ZAIA guy has some sort of like AR holographic thing change the room, and it adds chairs and stuff, which is kind of interesting. It adds chairs that they can actually sit on, because there weren't chairs. Interesting. I wonder what the implications of that might be, but I'm running out of time. So anyway, it totally transforms the look of the room, and it's like it's all lies, it's all deception, it's all hidden. And then we discover at the end of the episode that he is the one somehow orchestrating or staging the the attacks of Hirobi and Jin. And I wonder if we're going to find out. So the satellite is ZAIA, and that's linked to Hidden Intelligence. Apparently Hedon and ZAIA work together to create the Humagear, or early models of the Humagear, something like that. Except for ZAIA is a much larger organization who has more power and more capabilities, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have their own brand of Humagear or something like it. Interesting that the Ark is giving directions to Hirobi and Jin, and it's a satellite that never launched. But it was supposed to be like a control satellite like ZAIA is. But I wonder if, because the ZAIA guy is orchestrating a coup, or orchestrating a political pillaring, like he wants to destroy Hedon so that he can buy it out, basically, and grasp more control for himself. Is it possible that he's sending signals to the Ark that are telling Hirobi and Jin what to do, so that he can bring down Hidden Intelligence, so that he can seize it, he can devalue it and seize it as an asset for himself? I don't know. I think that's fascinating. I think that's a very interesting concept. And I think that's just, if that's all it is, though, that's not good enough. I need there to be more, but I am intrigued by what's going on, and I do like the idea that this sets up that Aruto, like I'd complained about in the beginning of the series, he was just getting these progress keys. And why does ZAIA want Yaiba to bring him more progress keys? That kind of doesn't make sense to me. He wanted something new, and he got an extinction one from her. That kind of fascinates me, because there's just a lot going on, a lot we don't know. There's a lot of things that can be explored. It doesn't seem like it's just about a corporate takeover. It seems like there must be something more, because maybe he's trying to get information from the keys. All the Kamen Riders chasing data since, Double. Or was it before Double? Anyway, I know in Double they needed more information so they can keep learning about the Gai memories and whatnot. Anyway, gosh, this is interesting. I don't know what this means, where this is going, but I sense that ZAIA will enter the fray. He's got all these progress keys. I would think it feels like this is Yu Takahashi, so we might be having another CEO guy jumping in and being a Kamen Rider. He's a good-looking guy. Looks fit. Looks like he could, henshin and provide a voice role. So I don't know. Is it possible that he's going to be manipulating Jin and Hirobi? They'll become disheartened. Since the 5 of them are standing next to each other at the end of the OP, the 5 riders, is it possible that they are going to learn that their rebellion against humanity is all a fabrication fueled by this guy for his corporate interests and his greed, and therefore they're going to turn against him and he'll become some larger threat that the 5 riders will all have to face together? Humagear and humans standing together against this corporate jerk. I don't know. I think that would be interesting. I would like to explore the concepts of monopoly and corporate or government capture, or capture of government by private industry, which is crony capitalistic and is not true, laissez-faire, good market stuff that I'm interested in and that I like. But anyway, I'm running out of time, and we can discuss more of that stuff later, especially if only if it becomes part of the show, because I'm not going to inject my politics into this Kamen Rider show. Although I will talk about things that are relevant. Speaking of which, though, I did not like the idea that ZAIA is obviously manipulating things to leverage an investigation of Hedon into, leverage the state to launch an investigation into Hedon. That is corruption, and that's bad. And I wonder who he had to bribe to make that happen. And if there's a phone call or a transcript, we can get, exposed to us. Anyway, but then again, as a sensible person, I believe, a corporation like Hedon, if they have parts that are causing damage, they should be investigated. But if it's proven that they're innocent, then their assets should be returned to them, and the business should be able to go on. And you got to think about all the people who Hedon employs, and if it were to become bankrupt because of this guy manipulating things so that he can have more, think about all the little people who would be hurt, and all the people who are end users of the Humagear products who would be have their lives diminished by not being able to benefit from them anymore. And that's it's kind of sad. Anyway, I'm totally out of time. I'm going to have to get out of here now. And I apologize for going over my typical 10-minute episode length. But if you like this, let me know, and maybe I'll push it to 15. Or feel the latitude to go up to 15 when it warrants it. MJ Loves Toku can be found on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. Check out mjmunoz.com for my other review series. Another Rider Cast, King of Hearts, Queen of Sorrows, Going Ultra, and Swinging Through Comics, as well as my writing projects. Love what I do? Want to support me? My Coffee and Redbubble accounts have you covered. Relevant links below. If you had a good time, like, share, and leave a comment. What do you think is going to happen with ZAIA? Is he going to become a writer? Is Yaiba getting screwed over? Just like all the other lady writers in past. And if you're a new person to Kamen Rider and Tokusatsu, there's a rich tradition of women getting screwed and shafted. Not in the pleasing way. Oh my gosh. This video is not for children, YouTube. Okay, so don't be mad at me. Anyway, yeah, women don't get the best treatment. Look up the trailer for Kamen Rider 5 if you can find it, and then watch the first episode of Kamen Rider 5, and you'll know what I mean. Anyway, let me see. Okay, yes. So anyway, you can leave a comment about that, and if you want to ask about that because you're new here, that'd be great. And if you think I'm being flippant about this, I really do care about Yaiba, and I was excited for her to be a great character, and I'm worried that that's not going to happen now, especially with how much Fuwa has been set up as a foil to what's-his-face, to Aruto. Anyway, that being said, subscribe and ring that bell to stay current on weekly Zero-One reviews, and remember, you don't have to shout henshin to be a hero.